Pasta. Everyone needs to know how to make pasta. Nations were built on it, it's versatile, and it's so quick and easy. We're gonna take 2 ingredients, egg, 00 flour, and create a stunning pasta recipe for you to use at home. Let's get it. Now, if we're talking about pasta, the first thing we need to talk about is flour. This is 00 flour. What is 00 flour? 00 basically refers to the grain size that it is milled at. 00 being the finest, then 0, then 1, then 2. Our normal plain bread flours are about 1, so 00 flour is super fine, and that allows that super smooth, silky pasta to be made. So we start with 100 grams of 00 flour into a bowl. You can also do this on the bench, you see that quite a lot. If you want to, you can do that. I don't. I like to have it in a bowl until all the mess and bits and pieces are sorted. It's just a bit quicker. It's just a bit of an easy way of doing it. To the flour, we're gonna add 1 large egg. Crack that, get it straight in. Now with the flour and the egg in the bowl, take your hand and just slowly mix that together with your fingertips all around in a circle, and you'll end up with this quite coarse, sandy mixture at the bottom. But don't worry, persevere, and you're gonna mix all those lovely sandy bits until they start to clump up and form a dough. Now I'm taking this ball, this clumpy dough, and I'm going to use it just to clean the bowl. Drag it around a bit, trying to pick up all those little bits of guppings off the bottom. And then once we've got it in a manageable piece, that goes out onto the bench. At this point you can put some flavourings in. You can put some saffron, some spices. You could take away 1/3 of the flour and put chestnut flour instead if you wanted to do like a chestnut pasta. Nice and brown and rich for a mushroom dish maybe. The technique is the same. No matter how you do it, no matter what flavouring goes in there. If there are any bits and crumbs of pasta on the bench, use this sort of like a sponge and just mop those bits up. Roll together, and now we get to the important bit. Knead. So what we're doing is pushing this dough onto the bench, and with the palm of our hand and our straight arm with the weight behind it, we knead and press that onto the bench as we fold and press. What we're trying to do here, we're trying to get that egg to every inch of the flour, to hydrate it, to activate the gluten, and to create that one dough. And all that takes is a fold and a push, fold and a push, fold and a push. And what we're left with is this super smooth, silky dough that's ready to get wrapped and rested. If you press your finger into the middle, it should bounce back slightly. And that's the gluten strands, the protein inside that flour, mixing with the egg and starting to build structure. Take your cling film onto the bench. We're gonna roll out a little bit, and our dough goes into the middle. Fold it over, round, slightly flatten it out with your hand just to push any air out. And that'll rest in the fridge for about 20 minutes. Now back in the day, they would have rolled this out with a rolling pin. But nowadays we have pasta machines. You can pick these up from any good food shops. You want a good machine, and if treated right, they last a lifetime. Get yourself a cloth, give it a good fold onto the bench, and this is just to protect the wood. Our clamp over the side, and you just twist and tighten that up so that's nice and solid, not going anywhere. It's been 20 minutes, our pasta dough is now out of the fridge. It's firm, it's rested. The hydration has found every little inch of that pasta and turned it into one thing, one entity. Now all we've got to do is roll it out. Get some flour onto the bench, pasta down, flour on top. And we want to roll it until it's about 1/2 centimetre thick. Basically, there's different gradients of thickness on your pasta machines. Now some of them, the highest number is the thinnest, some of them, the lowest number is the thinnest. With this, it's the highest number that's the thinnest, so we want to start it at the lowest. Starting it thick and then rolling that pasta out gradually. For the pasta to fit into the machine, we need to give it a little roll by hand just to make it thin enough to start to go through. Once you've got it there, engage your handle. We're going to start it at the top, just tease that lip in and then begin to roll. And we're going to go down a couple of numbers or up a couple of numbers and start to thin this out. Then what we want to do is fold in these corners by thirds so we end up with something that looks like a rectangle. Take your rolling pin, turn that pasta over, and we're pressing down onto the pasta to create ridges, and that is going to distribute and evenly space the pasta so you don't end up with wonky ribbons. Roll that out nicely, and when you've got those straight sides, that iconic rectangle, go back in on the lowest setting and roll through. And this is all about just working through the numbers, rolling those numbers out. Don't forget to flour it on the way down, bit over the top, bit over the bottom, just stops anything sticky, allows that pasta to be rolled nicely. Now once you've got it close to the thinnest setting, you want to get it rolled through, take the pasta out of the bottom bit, just where it hangs, because you don't want it to concertina and start to stick. Once you're at this stage where we're pretty much done, it's tripled, quadrupled in length, put it back into our pasta machine on the same setting it just went through on. Roll that through. You want it going through pretty much the whole way, but we leave about a 4-inch tongue coming out of the pasta machine. Take a small paring knife and just trim that up slightly. Take the end of the pasta, lay that over, and then crimp in with your fingers, creating a loop. Now with the back of your hand, lift the pasta, take the slack, and then continue to roll that through. So you end up with a conveyor belt. Flour on the back of your hand so it doesn't stick. Get the kids to help you at this point as well. Really easy, really fun. And you just roll that pasta through, guiding it with the left hand and creating this amazing conveyor belt. He's done. Take it off with that same knife. If you're having a dinner party or anything like that, it's amazing to do in front of the guests. Real cool technique. Now you just want to fold this pasta up very, very gently. Don't press it together, just let it hang over itself like that. Whilst we get together our tagliatelle cutter. Now at this stage, this is your ravioli. This is your agnolotti pasta. Tortellini, cut it into strips. You've got lasagna sheets, simple to make, 1 egg, 100 grams of flour, bit of love, bit of skill, and you end up with this. Now we put a handle into the tagliatelle cutter, and it's the same story. Hang and drape that pasta over the opening, start to cut it through, put your hand in the other side and pick up the drape, and then you've got this stunning tagliatelle. Hello! You can hang this over a broom handle now if you'd like, or alternatively, down onto the bench, bit of flour, bit of semolina, just to make sure it doesn't stick, and that is ready to rock. Perfect, fresh tagliatelle. As quick as that. This is the 101 to perfect pasta every time. Simple, quick, cheap, easy to make, super fun to do with the family. Amazing for carbonaras, spaghetti and meatballs. Whatever pasta dishes you've got in mind, you need to know how to make it first. And using these tips, going through the steps properly, I promise you, you'll be able to make it at home. That's my Pasta 101. And thank you!